If you want to get more bookings for your hotel, then one key way to do that is to get your website ranking at the top of Google. In this video, I'm going to show you my 6-step process that I use for hotel SEO that gets accommodation businesses ranking in Google. And why should you listen to me? I own 2 glamping hotels and both of them rank really well on Google. So this is my business, White House Glamping. We have a 6-door glamping business, and I also own another cabin business that has 3 units as well. And really the key for us with this business was moving away from the platforms and getting our business ranking on Google. The reason for this is platforms can be a whole mystery. They can change what they deem important. You can suddenly fall out of favor with them, lose your source of bookings. So it's really great to have that diversification of bookings. And for me, the most important thing was that if we get bookings directly to our website through people finding us on Google, is that we are avoiding the dreaded platform commissions. So we're getting an extra 15 to 20% extra profit margin by getting these direct bookings. That means that I'm potentially getting an extra 20% profit compared to my competitors. The other thing is that booking platforms, as you probably know, can bring in all sorts of types of customers, especially customers that are quite flaky or not the most well behaved. However, when they're coming directly through your website, we have found that there is more of a connection with that customer and they are more respectful. They are higher intent because if you think about it, they've come onto Google, search specifically for your type of hotel or your type of business, and there's usually a better match between the customer and the hotel or the customer and the accommodation business. So now let's dive in. I'm going to show you my 6-step hotel SEO ranking process. And if you would rather that we do it for you, feel free to book a consultation with me. My link is in the description. There's no obligation. I'm happy to just get on a call and have a chat. Jumping into our process, the first step that we want to take is to do some research of the keywords that we want to optimize our website for. This is the common terms that people will search into Google. The way that we do that is we use a tool called Ahrefs. Let me show you. What you can do is go to Ahrefs. You can go to Keywords Explorer and then Matching Terms, and you can type in your type of business plus your area. So for example, we have an imaginary hotel here for a hotel in Hereford. We could also do glamping in Hereford if that was what we were optimizing for. We want to cover as many bases as possible. So we would do Hotel Herefordshire, which is the county. Maybe we would do hotel. And if there was a specific part of Hereford that we're in, maybe say we're in Bromyard, we can just type in that as well. We'll click search, and what this will do is it will give us all of the keywords, match any of those words that we've just typed in. Now that we have got all of these keywords, we can go through and we can see which keywords are relevant to us. So it's likely that Hotel Hereford is relevant to us. You can see there's lots of competitors here where, it's like the specific name of the hotel plus Hereford. So Hotel Hereford, Hotels Hereford. We would go through and see Hotels Herefordshire. And then as we go down, on the lower search volume keywords, so you can see here we've got a monthly search volume. We've got 1,200 searches for Hotels Hereford. And then we can go down and maybe there's Cheap Hotels Hereford, which is 80 searches. Spa Hotel Hereford, which is 70 searches. So although these have less volume, you have higher intent people, because if somebody is looking for a Spa Hotel Hereford and you are a hotel in Hereford, then there is more intent for that than just a general hotel that they're looking for. Second thing is there's going to be less competition because there's less people going after these smaller terms. So I've had really great success in going after these long tail keywords because there's far less competition. So what we want to do is go through and make a big list of all of our keywords in an Excel document with the keyword plus the amount of searches it gets per month. Once we've got our keyword plan, we can go on to our competitor research. So this understand what are all of the inputs that we need to do in our SEO strategy in order to rank for the keywords that we're hoping to rank for. So the way to do this is look at some of the keywords that you are trying to rank for. And if you can go to the results, and what you want to do is find a like for like competitor. So we're not trying to compete against booking.com. That's a different type of website. They're an aggregator. But we are trying to compete against individual hotel websites. We've got the Green Dragon here. we've got Castle House, and then also down here, we've got Pilgrim and Elston Court. So what I would do is I would look at all of those turn by turn in Ahrefs. So let me show you that. Looking at our biggest competitor here in Hereford, the Green Dragon Hotel, we can have a quick look. We can see that they're getting about 3,000 to 4,000 people visiting their website each month, which is really great. And they have 167 backlinks. So we know how many backlinks we need to build. And don't worry, I'll go into that in much more detail in the final step of this SEO process. And then we can also look at how many pages they have. So they have 111 pages, and we can look at the different types of pages, landing pages versus blog content. And we can also look at how many of those pages are getting traffic. There's a whole bunch of these here that are just not getting traffic, so they probably wouldn't count towards our targets. Say if there's 20 that aren't getting traffic, that brings our total down to maybe about 90 pages that we need to build. Again, might sound like a lot, but we'll go into how to do that in an easy way later on. So we therefore know, okay, roughly how many backlinks do we need? How many pages do we need? And then finally, the last thing that we want to look at is how many reviews on Google we want to get. So let me show you an example from my own business. Glamping in White Valley, one of our main terms that we're going after. We've got the organic results below, but here we've got the map results. And I'll show you how to rank here properly, but one of the key factors is actually the number of reviews that you have. So we can see our biggest competitor here, they have 159 reviews. So that's great for them. We're in number 2 with 81. So we need to up our game here and get a few more reviews. And then our closest competitor behind us has got 53. So we just want to understand how many reviews do our competitors have, how many do we have, and what's the gap that we need to close. So again, we note down all of these, as well as another thing that we'll do is when we're going to our competitors and we're looking at the top pages, if we've missed any keywords in our original keyword analysis, then we'll add that into that spreadsheet as well. So there we are. We've really got the lay of the land here. We've got what keywords we're going after and what our competitors are doing. So now we need to actually get on to building our website in an SEO friendly way. The first thing we're going to start with is on-page SEO. This can scare a lot of people because it can seem quite technical, but if you're working with an agency or a freelancer that is building your website, then you really just need to point them in the right direction. Or if you're doing it yourself, then of course you can implement these things as well. As we noticed from that website that we were looking at before, they had a lot of dedicated landing pages about their services and their offerings. So we want to first create these dedicated landing pages for these offerings. So for example, for our glamping business, we have a landing page for dog-friendly glamping. We have a landing page for group glamping. We have a landing page for glamping with a hot tub. And what this does is it allows Google to really understand what that page is about and rank you for those terms. So looking at some of our Hereford keywords, maybe we have a hotel, but we also want to rank for Spa Hotel Hereford. So we could either do that with our main page, or if appropriate, we could create a dedicated landing page. Same for dog-friendly hotels. And then there were some other keywords from our competitor. We've got like afternoon tea Hereford, Spa Hereford. So you can see here, they have a dedicated landing page for that. They've got one for afternoon tea. Got one for the cocktail bar. So you can think about not just your hotel, but all of those extra services and amenities that you offer. And then you can create dedicated landing pages for those. On those landing pages, there are a few best practices that you want to follow. With your main keyword that you're targeting with those landing pages, you want to have it in your title, in your main heading, in the first 100 words, and in your meta description. That's a very basic way of putting it, but what I really recommend is using a correlational tool like Surfer. So what they do is they will look at what's already ranking in Google, and they will work out things like how many words does that page need to have? How many times do you need to use all the different keywords on that page? And they'll give you a score for how good that page is compared to other websites. So it really simplifies that whole content creation and on-page SEO process. Once we've got our basic website structure built out, we're going to start improving our presence on Google My Business. So that was the map listings that I talked about before. First thing you need to do is create a Google My Business profile and fill it out as completely as you can. You want to make sure that you have your hours filled out. You want to have your categories, everything filled out correctly. And then once you've done that, add in some photos so that people can see more about your hotel. Not only will it help with Google, but it will help with conversion rate as well, because accommodation is so visual, and having those good photos on your Google profile will just really help people understand what you're about and attract them to your hotel. Next up, the real key thing that sets people apart on their Google My Business profile in terms of rankings is the number of reviews that you have. There are two key ways that you can get reviews. The first is you can go back and send an email to all of your happy and loyal previous customers, asking them for a review. That's a really quick and easy way to get a lot of reviews. And then the second thing is, on an ongoing basis, you can incentivize your employees to get reviews. So a lot of my management team, they are incentivized. They have a monthly target on how many reviews they should be getting on Google. And that gets them excited to just mention it. So, if they have positive conversations and interactions with the customers, then they can mention about leaving a review as well. So all of that will really help us get boosted up on the rankings here. And why this is important is we've got two opportunities for real estate here. We can take advantage of the map listings, and we can also take advantage of having a listing in the organic results below as well. And it just gives us more opportunity to get found and discovered by customers. Next up is blog content. So this is content that goes into the blog section of your website. And the reason that this is important helps Google understand more about our website, the topic of our website, develop something called topical authority. And the other reason is because it can potentially catch customers at a different buying stage. So if they're Googling about things to do in Hereford or wherever your accommodation is, they're obviously thinking about visiting your area. So you're catching them at a different stage of the buying journey, perhaps before they've booked a hotel. And that's your opportunity to upsell your hotel in that article. And you can also do many clever things like retargeting those people that come to your website with ads on Instagram and Facebook. But in theory, it just gets more people that are coming to our area on our website, giving us more chances to get them interested in our hotel. How many articles do we want to write? Well, you want to go look at your competitors and how many pages they have, how many of those pages are service pages, and how many of those are blog articles. We want to beat them in terms of the number of blog articles that they have. So if they have 20, then let's try and write 30. That might sound like a lot to write, but you can either outsource that to a service, or you can just do a few per month. So if we got 30, maybe we just want to do 5 per month for the next 6 months. But my preference is always to do a lot of the content creation up front, because the sooner we get it on our website, the sooner it will be ranking. And while you're doing all of this article creation, remember these on-page rules that I talked about. And if possible, I'd really recommend just using a correlation tool like Surfer. Finally, the most important part of any SEO strategy is the backlinks. For the uninitiated, backlink is a link from another website to your website. And it is one of the most important factors that Google uses to rank your website. And it's really what sets you apart from your competition, because they're all going to have websites and landing pages, etc. as well. But where you can really pull ahead is that backlink strategy. So that's why backlinks are important. But the number one question that I get is, how many backlinks do I need to build, and what type should I build? First, I'm going to address what type. Here is something that I've come up with called the link building pyramid. And you can see at the bottom here, we have foundational links. These are links that any business should have. They're your social media profiles, like being listed on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and having a link back to your website. And they're also directories. So these are not only your booking platforms, and those don't always give you a link back, but also directories such as Yelp, Yellow Pages, that will give you a link back to your website. And these really help establish your business, your hotel, as a real business. And it's just the foundations that you should get in before starting any other type of link building. Next, in our relevancy layer, we've got guest posts and link insertions. This is where we have a post on another person's website that has a link going to our website. In almost all cases, these are now paid. You can expect to pay between $200 to $300 for a guest post. And the good thing about these is, because we're paying, we can control the content that will go onto that website. We can dictate to the website owner what we want, and we can include our link in that, and that will point back to our website, and we'll make that article very relevant to what we're about. So it helps Google understand, okay, this is a hotel website, because they've got lots of links talking about hotels going to their website. An alternative to that is the link insertion. So we can just insert our link into somebody's existing article, And again, this is just a paid option. And finally, at the top, you've got the authority layer. And this is where things get really interesting. These types of links are the creme de la creme of links, the best quality that you can get. We have digital PR, so press campaigns, and journalist requests, where a journalist will go to a platform such as X and they'll write, hashtag journal request, and they will ask for some sort of expert or insight into an article that they are writing. If we can provide them that commentary and they like it, they'll include it in our article, then they'll give us a mention. And in most cases, they will include a link back to our website as well. But there are only a certain amount of these requests out there. So the really effective thing to do is digital PR. Digital PR is where we create interesting data studies or expert commentary that we send to journalists. And the reason that this works is because journalists have such high targets in terms of the amount of articles that they need to publish these days, that they're always looking for article ideas. So if we're able to provide them with something really interesting and useful that they use, they're going to reward us with a mention and a link back to our website. I'll just show you a couple of examples that I've done for my own website here. We've worked with a lot of travel and hotel businesses. We can see here the type of articles that we've been getting published in. Here's one in the Mirror, for example. We gave some expert commentary on the best dates to book your holiday to get it, nice and affordable, to get the most availability. So we've got travel expert here, reveals exact date to book next year's holiday, and it's sooner than you think. So if we go down here, we can see, here I am, managing director, White House Glamping is Richard Edwards, and it's just got loads of tips here about when people should be booking their holidays. So it's not anything really groundbreaking, but it's the sort of thing that these really high DR websites love to publish. Here's another one for my other business, and this one's gone down more of a laundry route. So how do we get, the whole hotel quality sheets at home, some laundry tips, and again, just sent that out to lots of journalists, and they got picked up really, really well. So you can see for our website, for our glamping website here, we've built over 35 links in some of these really top publications. We've got the Mirror, Yahoo, MSN, Scotsman, Birmingham Live, AOL, Bristol Post, lots and lots of different websites there. So that's really the power of digital PR. And now, while I do own a hotel, I also own a SEO agency, and digital PR is our bread and butter, what we're really good at. So if that's something that you want for your hotel, please just book a call with me in the link below. Now, going on to how many links that you need to build. If we go back to our example website that we were investigating earlier, we can see that they have over 200 links going to their website. Now, that might seem like a lot of links, but when we look into it, there are a lot of links here that we can easily replicate. There's a lot of directory websites here. So we've got like Visit Herefordshire, Hereford City Life. So we can see this gives us direct access to go in and go list ourselves on that website as well. You can also see these that they've done some local sponsorship with the Hereford Racecourse and places like that. Lots of partnerships with different local festivals. So that's a really good way to build links, is just reach out to local events and festivals and become an accommodation option for them. And finally, it does look like they've done some guest posting as well. Like this looks like a guest post on this blog where they've got a nice link back to themselves. And then going down here, you can also see they've got some really good press as well. So they've got a feature in the Times, in a roundup of the best hotels in the UK for under 100 quid per night. So if I was competing with this website, I would know that I would have to do some directories, perhaps some local partnerships. I'd need to do some guest posts on some blogs. And then finally, I would need to do some press campaigns to really get those high DR, very prestigious media links. So while 200 does sound a lot, there'll be a large proportion of those that are just links that aren't worth building. They're kind of links that get picked up over time, kind of spammy and scrape links. So that would probably bring that down to maybe half. So maybe it's 100 links to build. We can easily build just 100 citations in one go. That's a service that we can offer for you. And then it's probably just a case of maybe a handful of guest posts and maybe 1 or 2 press campaigns that would really push us ahead of this website. So digging into the actual backlink profile, the headline figure of 200 links isn't as scary as what is actually in those links. If that process of finding out how many links you need to build, what type, what DR, seems a bit complicated to you, then I'm offering a free audit for anybody. We'll look at you, your competitor, We'll come up with a plan of how many links you need to build and what type it out clearly for you. That is free and there's completely no pressure to buy anything from us if you don't think that's any good. So concluding this video then, one thing I'd like to say about SEO is that it is a long-term process. Not only can it take several months of hard work just to produce all the web pages, all of the content, all of the backlinks that you need to rank, but then it might take a few months for Google to pick up on all of that hard work and reward you for it. So really, consistency is key. And if you keep pushing, you will start to rank and you will start to get consistent bookings coming direct through your website. And then you can finally say adios to the booking platforms. The final tip I'll give you in this video is to create a plan of action. So now that we know how many posts we need, how many links we need to build, how many reviews we need to get, break that down into a monthly target. Once you have a monthly target, it will feel a lot more manageable and you'll have a nice target to work to each month, holding you accountable. You'll have everything you need to know to rank your hotel in Google. But if you want the experts to handle it for you, just book a call with me below and we'll work out a strategy for you to move forward. Thank you and bye.